Good evening, everyone. Hope we're doing greatly. It is your brother Aja Kelvin, and I'm doing this video to share my lesson from the mass indoctrination on day one. In course of the lesson, we were made to understand that Jesus Christ is the only teacher that was recommended by the Father for us to listen to and for us to consult. And this was made revealed during his baptism when the heavens were open. So if we are to listen to any, it is Christ that we are to listen to as concerning the doctrines that we are to follow. The book of Matthew chapter 7, the scriptures warn us clearly that there are so many amongst us that are out there that are to preach the gospel in the sense using the gospel to deceive many. So hence we should be very careful. If we must practice religion, then we must make sure that we scrutinize such. Ecclesiastes chapter 7, scriptures there says that we should compare one thing to another to be able to find out the truth. We should compare things with what is written in the Bible. If it doesn't concur, then it means it's not the truth, and we should not follow. So whatever that is not written in the scripture cannot be taken as part of the commandments or law of God. For it to be accepted as part of the commandments or the law or doctrine, then it must be written in the scripture. In the book of Matthew chapter 28, there are scripture, verse 28 to 29. Scripture says, before Christ ascended towards heaven, he gave an instruction with his disciples. He told them they should go into the world and to preach the gospel to all nations, and then they should baptize all men. For those that have received the word, they should baptize in the name of the Father. And hence we see that this baptism, it is the first doctrine of Christ. As some will say that there are only 10 commandments in the Bible, that will see that outside the 10 commandments, there are other commandments too, which is that of baptism. So there are not only 10 commandments in the Bible, baptism too is one of the commandments and a doctrine that is supposed to be practiced by the church. Baptism, as it is, it's the formal criteria for being added to the church. We saw in the book of Acts when Paul, after the Pentecost, preached the word, those that received the word, God says that they were baptized and we are added to the church. So baptism is compulsory for being part of the church. And also we are not the church per se. The church was formed over 2000 years ago. We are to be part, we are not the church per se, but to be part of the church. And so to say we are the church, so it's a continuation. So we are not forming the church of our own, rather we are to be part of the church. And because of the lesson two, we also learned of scriptures to understand that whatever that is of God should be called by his name. And so hence the church should be church of God. When Christ was talking about the church that he has come to build, he was speaking of the Father. He was not speaking of his own. So he has not come to build his own church, but that which the Father has called him. So instead of saying the church of Christ, it's more proper to say church of God. And for more on the teaching, more scriptural references, you can check up my post on my blog at 1457 on the MCGI community on the Hive platform. God bless you, and I'm sure that we will create time to check out my blog, and there we kind of extensively on the teaching of the mass indoctrination day one. God bless you. You're always invited to keep joining us in our studies. Thank you once again, and God bless you richly. Stay well. Bye from now. It's your brother Aja Kelvin.